Hey, hello, how do you do? Shady Do-Rags here, and welcome back to Episode Rundown, where I, Shady Do-Rags, run down the episodes of Miraculous, Tales of Ladybug, and Cat Noir. And if I'm doing everything right, this should be the first episode rundown on my second channel. To anybody who found this just by accident, this is a series that I do on my normal channel, Shady Do-Rags, but I've moved it here to my second channel, Shady Do-Rags, and we'll be reviewing the episodes Miraculous from here on out. So basically, I realized in the last episode rundown that I didn't really give a general summary to how I feel about this series, despite that it's been a hot minute since I've reviewed it. So just for anybody who's taking an interest in these episode rundown episodes, but you haven't been watching it from the beginning, when it comes to this show, Miraculous, I have a soft spot for it because I really love superheroes, as you can tell. I have a soft spot for it, but I have a lot of complaints about Miraculous. I think it's not living up to its potential as a superhero show or just a show in general. I think it makes a lot of mistakes. But I still have a lot of fun reviewing it, which is why I do these episode rundowns. I like to see the progression that this show takes. But anyway, today we're looking at the episodes, Season 3, Episode 13, Startrain. For some reason, that name just, it does not stick in my brain. I don't know why. So the episode starts with all of Marinette's classmates planning to go on a... Oh, no, I'm skipping parts. The episode starts with Marinette going to Master Fu's, and she's returning the Fox Miraculous to him. So off screen, we miss some shenanigans with Alia. Marinette is very tired from... I forget why? I think it was the mission. I'll play why she's tired right now.
I can't wait to do the same. Good night, Master.
Tiki's like, hey, tell him about the trip. Marinette says, oh, my entire class is going on a trip, but I can't go anyway because I'm Ladybug, which immediately I thought in my head, Adrien went on a trip and nobody batted an eye about him going on a trip. But of course, Cat Noir isn't needed to capture Akumas, so with Ladybug going, that would be a really big problem. But Cat Noir going, that's not as big of a deal, despite the fact that they're supposed to be partners who are equal and just as important. You know, Cat Noir is supposed to be just as important as Ladybug. Still going on about that, and they still contradict it. So Master Fu gives her the Horse Miraculous, and he says, hey, with the Horse Miraculous, you can teleport from point A to point B, so you can just use that to get back to Paris if something happens. And I'm like, okay, cool. Who's gonna tell her if something happens? Is she gonna be checking the news all the time? Like, this plan has some flaws in it. Marinette is allowed to go on this school trip. They're all going on a train to London. We see Adrien, and he is also gonna go on the trip, and he didn't tell his dad.
Adrien, well, what are you doing here? Tired of my father keeping me from going on school field trips.
Which is a bit of character progression for Adrien, that he would just completely keep the information from his dad. Like, he didn't even ask permission. And Adrien isn't tired for some reason. Like, Marinette is super tired, but Adrien is not. And he said,
Hawkmoth already struck last night, so there's no chance there'll be another akumatization today.
Which is some flimsy logic, Adrien, because I could think of, off the top of my head, Where Dad? That was an episode where Hawkmoth attacked the night before and then attacked the next day. But Adrien, for some reason, thinks that there's no chance of Hawkmoth attacking because he attacked last night. Like, whatever, Adrien. We flash to Sabrina. Sabrina's dad, he's the cop. He's getting upset because everybody around him is breaking minor laws and he wants to write them up tickets, but Sabrina is hassling him because she really wants to make the train. Hawkmoth senses this and sends out an Akuma, but Sabrina keeps calming him down, so the Akuma can't really possess him even though it's still following him. And what winds up happening is once they get to the station, he calms down completely, but also Sabrina, the Akuma gets locked in Sabrina's suitcase. I, for some reason, thought Akumas could phase through matter. I know Kwamis can, but for some reason I thought Akumas could, but no, they can't apparently. We transition to Marinette, Max, and I think Alia was there as well. And they get out of the car with this woman who we've never seen before. And I'm like, who is this person? Oh, new character, must be the Akuma of the episode. It's Max's mom. And Max's mom comes and she gives some exposition and says, I'm driving this train because I want it to be around while Max is growing up. But this isn't what I want to do in my life. I want to be an astronaut. And I just took a test for astronaut training. And that's going to be my next job if I pass. And I'm like, wait a second. Don't you have to be a pilot to be an astronaut? Maybe I don't know a whole lot about the space industry, but I thought you had to be a pilot before you could be an astronaut. And I'm like, wait, isn't this show takes place in France? Does France have a space organization? Like, is she gonna move to like Florida or something to become an astronaut? Because I don't. Again, I don't know a ton about the space industry, but I didn't think France had a business like that where people go up in space and whatnot. But maybe they do, and I'm just ignorant. But she's waiting for an email to determine whether or not she passed or not. And Max says that she has a very high chance of passing. So they get on the train, and everybody from the class is there, including, I can't remember the teacher's name. But the teacher is there as well. So it really is a school field trip. Marinette is stalking Adrian, like you do. Oh, before that happens, Chloe comes in. She gets first class. Chloe's being a bit more Chloe than even I'm ready to handle. Sabrina, she tells Sabrina to leave and then literally 3 seconds later calls her and tells her to come back. And I'm like, Chloe, I missed you, but... There's some things that you get on even my nerves. Sabrina leaves her suitcase with Chloe, which is a good way to set up like what's going to happen later in the episode. So all the rest of the students are in the back of the train, not in first class. And we see the sitting arrangements. And like I said, Marinette is stalking Adrian. And she makes this noise. Which is supposed to be a yawn, but it's definitely not. It's so weird. Like, these voice actors are usually amazing at their job, but I could not figure out what that noise is. I had to use context clues from Alia, who's like, why are you so tired, girl? Oh, that's another thing. Alia's not tired. Marinette returned the Fox Miraculous, which means Alia must have been helping her last night. But Alia wasn't tired. But yeah, Alia nor Adrian are tired, but Marinette is. Marinette says, oh, she was staying up all night trying to figure out a gift. No, try to figure out how to tell Adrian how she feels. And Alia's just like, just tell him, which might actually work with Adrian, actually. No. I'm misremembering the show since it's been so long since I've seen it. Adrian is fixated on one person and one person only. And it's not Marinette. Or is it? But anyway, the episode continues and Marinette falls asleep because she's so tired. And Alia, the best wingman in the history of wingmen, goes up to Adrian and says, hey, I want to talk to Nino because Nino's her boyfriend. Can we trade seats? And Adrian, good guy Adrian's like, yeah, sure. And goes and sits next to Marinette. Because Marinette is asleep, she leans up against Adrian. Adrian, because he's good guy Adrian, allows it and he just relaxes and goes to sleep with her. And all the girls on the train are like, we must observe this. And it's actually, it's a sweet moment. I don't ship Adrian and Marinette. I've made that clear in the past, but it is a nice little sweet moment. Alia takes a picture. Lila's there, which I pointed her out as soon as I saw her. She's sitting next to Sabrina, and she's about to disturb Marinette. Alia, again, the greatest wingman ever, intercepts her, and she's like, Lila makes up a story. Oh, I've got allergies, and I was hoping Marinette could help me. Sabrina, who prepared everything in case Chloe needed something. It's like, oh, I've got allergy, or was it train sickness? It might have been train sickness. She's like, oh, I've got medicine in my suitcase. Don't worry, I got what you need. But this moment did kind of stick out because the fact that Alia intercepted Lila kind of made me feel like she knew Lila was about to disturb Marinette just because she was jealous. They don't actually say that, but that's kind of the conclusion I've drawn, but we've been shown in the past that Alia does believe Lila's lies. So that would have been, if that's what they were trying to say, was kind of inconsistent. Sabrina goes back to the first class, gets her suitcase, and out pops the Akuma. And Chloe sees it. She's calm because she's a miraculous hero. And she's like, everybody, don't panic, but there's an Akuma right there. And everybody panics. It's almost a very comedic moment. The only problem is they kind of ruined it by having everyone see the Akuma before Chloe said, don't panic.
Calm down, everyone. Whatever you do, don't panic. But there's an Akuma.
Everybody panics and they run to the back of the train, which you would think would immediately cause somebody to get akumatized because it's panic. Oh, by the way, Hawkmoth openly declares he cannot control the Akuma anymore because it's too far away.
I've lost contact. My Akuma's too far away.
So apparently, yeah, it has to be within Paris for Hawkmoth to control it, which is why when on that other episode, when he got on that train, he was like, this train can't leave because I've got to stay here. That's a weird caveat to introduce in season 3, but fine. The Akuma winds up finding its way to the front of the train with Max's mom, that's his name. And she's stressed out because she hasn't gotten her email yet, even though she was told it wouldn't come until a certain time. She's got her hand on the train. She has to hold on to the train. Otherwise, if she lets go, the train will immediately slow down. It's a preventative measure.
It's called the dead man switch.
And what would happen if you took your hand off it?
The train would come to a stop.
Which I don't know if it's true or not, but I don't know trains. So the Akuma akumatizes the thing she's holding on to. So it akumatizes her and the entire train, and she becomes Startrain. And she wants to be an astronaut, so she takes the train straight up through whatever tunnel they're in, breaks that tunnel, I'm pretty sure floods it full of water, and they go straight into space. And I don't know where they're going. Like, this woman doesn't seem like she's planning on ever turning around. She's gonna go straight into the stars. And I was like, is this what shark jumping feels like? I'm not sure. They've probably already jumped the shark plenty of times. I've probably called them out for jumping the shark plenty of times. Oh, before Startrain happens, though, the people in the train are panicking. Marinette acts like she hears it, but she doesn't do anything. So I don't know if she's like, it's because she's half asleep, but she doesn't really do, she doesn't even notice that Adrian is next to her. Like, she looks dead at him and she doesn't notice that he's next to her. So I'm guessing it's because she's half asleep. Alia and Nino, however, do something. They get up and they check and they don't see the Akuma because it's gone to the front. This shows why it's good that these characters know there's each other's secret identities. Alia and Nino are the only two who know each other's, well, everybody knows Chloe's secret identity, but Alia and Nino are the only two who know each other's secret identities. And because of that, they work together as humans to prevent problems. Like, it's really good. But anyway, they're all in space. Marinette and Adrian wake up, and I'm looking at this scenario and I'm like, oh, is this going to be an episode without Ladybug and Cat Noir? Like, are they going to solve the problem themselves? Because Hawkmoth has no control. Startrain, the mom, she doesn't have a reason to go after Ladybug or Cat Noir. So I'm thinking this might be a really interesting episode of just the kids solving this problem. With Marinette and Adrian awake, everyone starts trying to solve the problem. All the Sailor Scouts are there. And I'm like, yeah, this could be them working as a team. And at first, that is what happens. And for some reason, Max is there. And I'm like, well, everybody in the class is there. But when they're formulating their plan, all the Sailor Scouts are there and also Max and his little robot buddy. And I'm like, okay, I don't know why they put Max there, but fine, let's do this. Unfortunately, I was wrong because Marinette and Adrian split up and become Ladybug and Cat Noir. And I was very disappointed because I'm like, oh, they're not going to work together now. And I really love the scene of them talking and working together as a group. And I'm like, come on, a superhero group. This is what I've been waiting for. Let's do this. You know, I shouldn't be saying that by season 3. Like, we've already had Heroes Day with the group coming together and working together. I shouldn't be this thirsty for the superheroes to act like a team. Ladybug and Cat Noir show up. They transform. Ladybug straight up lies and says, oh, I used a Miraculous that teleports me to get here, which Again, for those of you who are new, one of my big pet peeves with this show is that Marinette and or Ladybug is constantly saying, I don't like liars, I don't like lies, blah, blah, blah. They've made it kind of a big deal. I think they did it unintentionally to make it a big deal about her character that she doesn't like lies. And then she herself will go off and lie all the time. And it's really inconsistent about her character. That's why I always bring it up when she lies. It's a lot like Applejack from My Little Pony. But yeah, she straight up lies and says, oh, I took the horse Miraculous to teleport here. And Cat Noir says, oh, I was one of the passengers on the train. He tells that to Ladybug, and Ladybug says, nobody can know that. Like, you can't tell people that. So anyway, they go and they get help from the kids. None of the adults help in this situation. They get help from their classmates. And Max is, I was wondering why Max brought his robot dude. Because we don't often see Max's robot dude. And it was for this. They needed him on the train to hack the train. So Max uses his robot dude to hack the train and help Ladybug and Cat Noir get to the front. They eventually get to a train car that is void space, what's it called? A vacuum. Is vacuum the right term? I'm not sure. But basically, there's no atmosphere in there. So a normal person cannot survive in this car. So it's Ladybug, Cat Noir, and Max and his robot dude. Ladybug pulls out the horse Miraculous. And I'm like, oh no. Oh no. And she gives it to Max. I'm like, no. Not Max of all people. and the horse Kwame comes out, and the horse Kwame's like,
Oh, to whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
Hello, my name's Max.
Are you glorious and famous?
and I immediately hear this horse Kwame's voice, and I'm like, this should have been Chloe's Miraculous. I mean, obviously Chloe was destined for the Be Miraculous, but I hear this horse's voice, and she asks Mac, are you a famous person? And I'm like, this spot on should have been Chloe, which I don't get why a horse Miraculous would need you to be famous. Like, I guess it's kind of going off the old tropes of knights, but like the point of transportation does not correlate to the power of fame. That doesn't make any sense. But Marinette straight up says, we don't have time for that. We're giving him the Miraculous, which I really don't like. Like, all the points up till now were characters earning the right to be these miraculous heroes. Even Chloe, who originally stole her Miraculous, was earning the right, or not the right, but earning the for lack of a better term, reward of being Queen Bee. Unfortunately, she had to lose it because everybody knows her secret identity. Also, that's another thing. This episode acts like Chloe is allowed to be Queen Bee. Chloe proclaims herself as Queen Bee. When Ladybug and Cat Noir show up, she's like, did you bring my Miraculous? Even though they've already told her that she can't have it. It might be one of those things where just the order of the episodes just made it weird. But yeah, that was a big standout that Chloe, like the miraculous heroes, Ladybug and Cat Noir, were telling Chloe that they would have brought her Miraculous had they known she was here.
I hope you remembered to bring my Miraculous. Actually...
We didn't know you were going to be here. Otherwise, we would have, for sure.
But anyway, Max becomes... Did they ever say his name? I don't know if they ever said his name. And also, I forget the battle cry that he shouts out.
All you need to say is, Kalki, full gallop!
Max turns into this hero. I hate the transformation sequence because he does this weird, awkward dance. I mean, the dance makes sense to his character. He's a geek who is turning into somebody really cool, so he would probably do something really really awkward when that happens. But I do love the look itself. Max glowed up. Glowed up. Max looked awesome. He looked awesome. Obviously, they were going for like the Matrix kind of look, but he looked like a completely different person. Now, that is a secret identity. I could not look at Max and tell that was him. He looks completely different. But with Max heroed up, they go into the next car, and they eventually, and what has to happen is, I neglected to explain this earlier, they can't destroy the Akuma until somebody is ready to use the teleportation power, because they have to do it at the exact same time, because if the Akuma is destroyed, the train no longer becomes a spaceship. It's just a train, which means there's no pressure, there's no heat. You know, it's a train in the middle of space, and it doesn't get fixed until Ladybug does her miraculous Ladybug, which if she could survive the void of space, I guess she could still do anyway, and the Ladybugs would just return them back. Oh, but she can't say it. There's no sound, so she wouldn't be able to say it. So yeah, somebody has to teleport them. So they get to the front of the train, and they easily enough take down Startrain. Like, I don't even remember seeing her character too much. It's more about the train than it is the character. Again, I don't remember his name, but Max, as a superhero, activates a portal to teleport them to London. And they get there safe. Ladybug does the miraculous ladybugs, and they fix everything. So the episode ends with Adrian getting caught because Hawkmoth realized that Adrian was on that train. So he sends his bodyguard and What's-Her-Face to go get him, which I don't see the point of. Like, is a plane ride faster or something? Like, I guess it's safer. They do have private jets. And it ends with Marinette seeing the picture of her sleeping on top of Adrian's shoulder. Overall, I mean, Max's design looks cool. The villain was cool. I liked seeing all the heroes come together, even in their human forms. But there's a lot of problems that I didn't like. The execution, like, there's a lot happening in this episode. It felt like it should have been a two-parter. Because there's a lot of important things happening in this episode that didn't really get time to get fleshed out. All the friends coming together in their secret identities and just acting as friends. They're trying to work together to solve this problem. Max just gets a miraculous forced onto him. I already don't like that more than 5 Miraculouses exist. Even if they do exist, what mainly is taking me off is that they didn't take time to flesh out the Miraculouses we already have. I really want to see the Sailor Scouts become a team, but I've already realized that dream dying. People have already told me that there's a lot more Miraculouses. I already know some of the people who are going to get Miraculouses, but it's made even worse by the fact that Max didn't earn his Miraculous. He was just thrust into it. I don't like that. Oh, also, I should note that Max's mom did get that email. She is gonna go to astronaut school or whatever. But yeah, that episode happened. Like, there's some really good things and some really bad things. I don't even know if I want to say really bad, but some personally bad things that I didn't like that just came out of that. But it happened, so, you know, another Sailor Scout added to the team. But anyway, that's that episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. This has been Shady Durags. So long. Farewell. Ad Vida saying. Goodbye.